everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are seeing me for the first time, my name is Twicha and I make DIY videos for home decor elements. Elements that you can find expensive in the high-end store, probably in the high-end websites. And if you are like me, that you can think that you can make on your own, of course. So if you are interested in the same, please don't forget to like my other videos, watch my other videos and subscribe to them, and let's get started with today's video. So today's video is about two Urban Outfitter dupes. The first one is candle that actually turned out the way it was on the website. No changes, it's just that I made it on my own. And the other one I had to modify it a little bit, but of course that too work very nicely, that looks nice. So I hope you will enjoy it, and let's jump into the video. So our first project is Urban Outfitters candle, which is a Frankie glass printed candle. I started by grabbing a simple candle with the white wax inside, and I removed all the labels that was on it. So the reason I selected the white wax is because the one that I saw on the website that has a white wax inside. So if you want to make the same, I would suggest you to do the same. And it has two beautiful wicks inside, and it was with a jasmine fragrance. Now, to make the candle, you will need a brush and just a black paint, and we are going to make a candle just the way you can see inside. That is our inspiration. Now, after grabbing the black paint, what you have to do is grab a tiny bit of black paint on the brush and start making a tiny patches out of it. It doesn't have to be in a same shape or specific shape. You just have to follow your instincts, and you have to make the shapes the way you like it, the way you think that it's gonna look, just the way you saw on the website. Here I am not going for the big patches or big shapes because I'm kind of not sure how will it look on the bigger shapes. So I'm just going with the tiny shapes and filling out the spaces with it. The only trouble you will find here is to make the first coat. Since I was using acrylic paint and I was using the glass surface, acrylic paint doesn't tend to stick on the glass surface really well on the first coat. But I have worked on this before, and I know if I do the same with the second coat, it's gonna look perfectly fine. So I followed the same, and if you find any kind of gaps, just go ahead with the tiny dots and fill up the space if you don't want to make any bigger shapes, and if you don't want to fill it out completely, just the way I did. And you can use the frock tape as well. And after the first coat, it was looking like this. This was very questionable, but as I said, if you go for the second coat, it's gonna be perfectly fine. Now the second coat is kind of time consuming because you have to follow a pattern. You have to go over the same shape that you made before. So you just have to make sure that you are not making any mistake and not going out of the shape. But again, even if you go paint is wet, you can simply just wipe it out. So yes, once you're done with this, you have to let it dry for a good amount of time. And once it's dry, you will actually be able to see the good chunk of paint sticking over the glass. After that, I covered the candle with the frock tape, so whatever the spray paint that I'm going to use, that doesn't go inside. I had the clear coat for matte spray. I lightly sprayed the candle with it, and the candle was ready. Now our second DIY is the Incense Stick holder, which also I saw on the Urban Outfitters website, which is pretty much in a flower shape and in a earthy colors. So I found this one in the Dollar Tree for about $1, and I also had the concrete patch. The reason I wanted to use the concrete patch is because on the top surface where you can see the B embossed, I had to make sure that this is all even out. So I covered the edges just for the lead, and I added the concrete patch on the top. Meanwhile, I also added the speckle in the base part just to even out the texture that I was going to have on the top on the lead. So I had to add the speckle a little bit. And then once the concrete patch was dry, I removed the tape and checked the lead. It was completely balanced, completely evened out. And just to maintain the texture, I also added the speckle on the top of the concrete patch just to fill out those gaps. And once that was dry, it was time to fill the inside with the concrete patch, just because I wanted to make the incense stick hold in. And with the incense stick, I made a hole just so it can hold the incense stick. And then I let it dry as per given time. This was pretty time-consuming task because I had to wait in between a lot to make all those layers dry. But I was kind of pretty sure that once it was done, it's gonna worth it. So I waited on it and painted it with the color that I had with the lead. I also went for the earthy colors with the tester paints that I had. For the bottom, I had the eggshell finish, and on the top it was kind of like a brownish or chocolate shade tester paint. It was for my wall that I got from Home Depot. But even though I was not satisfied, so I used the spray paint and got done with the project. Thank you so much if you are this part of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have, don't forget to watch my other videos, like, comment, subscribe on that, because that's gonna help me to create my YouTube community. And once again, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.